let's talk about a huge shift in how we can use AI. I mean, imagine going from a tool that's basically got amnesia, forgetting everything the second you close the tab, to one that builds a real, lasting memory, just for you.
And this is the thing, right? When you upload your documents to a typical AI and ask a question, yeah, it works. But the next day, or even 10 minutes later, if you ask a follow-up, it starts all over again, from scratch. Every single interaction is a blank slate, and that's just a massive waste of potential.
You know, the standard way this works is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. Basically, every time you ask a question, the AI has to go back and frantically reread all your original files. But the alternative, this LLM wiki idea, is completely different. The AI reads your docs once, and then builds this organized knowledge base that just gets smarter and smarter over time. Nothing gets forgotten. So let's dive into the solution. It's a concept from AI researcher Andrej Karpathy that really flips the whole model on its head. It's all about building a persistent second brain that an AI actually manages for you. So what exactly is an LLM wiki? Well, think of it like a living, breathing collection of notes. When you add a new article or PDF, the AI doesn't just store it, it reads it. It pulls out the key concepts, it makes new pages, it updates old ones, and it links everything together. And here's the magic. The AI does all that boring grunt work of summarizing and filing and cross-referencing for you. I love this analogy because it just perfectly explains how it all works. You can use an app like Obsidian as your window into the wiki. That's your IDE, your code editor. The large language model, well, that's your tireless programmer doing all the writing and organizing 24/7. And the wiki itself, that's the living, evolving code base. You just get to be the director, deciding what to add and what questions to ask. And the setup is actually super simple. It really just boils down to 3 layers. First, you have your raw sources, all your PDFs, articles, and notes. These are totally safe, they're read-only, they're your source of truth. Second, you have the wiki itself, the sandbox where the AI writes and organizes everything. And third, the schema, which is basically just a simple text file that tells the AI the rules of the road. Okay, so that's the setup. But what does this actually let you do? This is where things get really cool. This isn't just about asking for simple facts. It's about answering truly complex questions, the kind that require connecting ideas from a bunch of different places. For example, let's say you're planning a trip. You fed your wiki 2 completely separate articles. One's about the best neighborhoods in a city, and the other's a guide to the city's food scene. And now you ask a question like this, which needs to connect the dots between both of those sources. Now, with a standard system, the AI has to go back and frantically reread both of those raw articles, find all the little bits about neighborhoods and food and temples, and then try to stitch it all together on the fly. It's totally inefficient, and it's starting from zero every single time. But with the wiki, oh, it's a totally different story. The AI doesn't even need to look at the raw files again. Why? Because the synthesis, the hard work of connecting ideas, is already done. It just has to consult the organized knowledge base it's already built. It just pulls from its own structured notes, the pages it already created for neighborhoods, food, and temples, and it easily connects the dots. You see, it's not searching raw text anymore, it's querying its own internal encyclopedia, and it can even tell you which of its own wiki pages it used to come up with the answer. This is an absolute game changer for asking complex questions. And here's a super important habit to get into. That amazing answer the AI just gave you, that perfect summary table, don't just let it get buried in your chat history. You file it back. You save it as a brand new page in the wiki. That way, your own questions and the AI's best answers become a permanent, compounding part of your knowledge base. But, of course, a knowledge base like this isn't just set it and forget it. You gotta treat it like a garden, you know? You have to tend to it every once in a while to keep it healthy and make sure it doesn't get overgrown with weeds or outdated info. And 2 special files are a huge help here. First, you've got an index.md file. Think of this as the wiki's table of contents, or its catalog. It helps the AI and you find what's where. Then there's log.md, which is more like a diary. It's just a running chronological list of every single change, every new document added, every question you've asked. All right, now for what might be the most powerful maintenance tool of all, linting. If you've ever coded, you know what linting is. It's checking your code for errors. Well, you can do the exact same thing here. You can literally ask the AI to run a health check on its own work. And it's wild, but the prompt is often literally this simple. You just periodically ask the AI to scan the entire wiki, and tell you what needs to be fixed. So what's it looking for? All sorts of stuff. It'll find orphan pages that aren't linked from anywhere else. It'll spot broken links. It can even find contradictions between two different pages. It might flag an idea that's out of date based on a newer article you added, or even suggest, hey, this concept is so important it probably needs its own page. This is how you make sure your knowledge base stays trustworthy as it grows.
So when you put this all together, the smart querying, the indexing, the regular maintenance, what do you actually get? Well, you get something incredibly powerful.
I mean, you can just imagine the possibilities, right? A student could build an amazing knowledge base from all their research papers. A company could have an internal wiki from meeting notes, so a new hire can get up to speed in an afternoon instead of digging through a year of chat logs. Or just anyone who's curious can build their own personal encyclopedia from all the books and articles they consume.
And this, right here, really gets to the heart of why this is such a breakthrough. Look, we've all tried to start our own personal wikis or note-taking systems before, and most of us give up. Why? Because the upkeep, all the filing, linking, and updating, it just becomes a total chore. The maintenance burden grows way faster than the value you get out of it. But an LLM doesn't get bored. The cost of all that maintenance drops to almost zero, and that's what finally makes this whole idea work.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. We're all so used to our digital information just piling up. It's scattered across random folders and forgotten chat threads. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if your personal knowledge didn't just accumulate, but actually compounded, becoming more connected, more insightful, and more valuable with every single thing you add to it?
Enhance your coding skills with us. Don't forget to subscribe to Code 5 Food for the latest updates and tutorials.